Hello, and welcome to the West Midlands Regional Cybercrime Unit YouTube channel. This week we will be covering computer software service fraud and showing you how to identify a potential remote access Trojan. Firstly, we will discuss what software service fraud is. So software service fraud can occur in a variety of ways, but mainly it involves the victim being contacted by the fraudster. This can be through a phone call, an SMS text, or an email. The fraudster will then tell the victim they have a problem with their device or the software on their device. They can make this even more convincing by taking control of the device and displaying error messages. From here, the fraudster will download special software to fix this false error. This special software will be a remote access tool. So what exactly is a remote access tool? A remote access tool is a piece of software that's used remotely to access or control a computer. These tools can be used legitimately by administrators for accessing client computers. However, they can also be used maliciously, and when they are used maliciously, they're called remote access Trojans. After the infection, a remote access Trojan may perform unauthorized operations and hide their presence in the infected system. So now we will cover some very basic checks you can do to check if a remote access Trojan is being used within your machine. It's important to remember that these checks do not guarantee your safety, but will only act as a potential indicator for a remote access Trojan. This demo is done on a Windows 10 operating system, meaning that the methodology may vary between different operating systems. Firstly, disconnect your device from the internet. If you believe someone is accessing your computer remotely, this should be the first thing you do. This includes removing Ethernet cables and turning off Wi-Fi connections. Something that may indicate intrusion is the list of recently accessed files and apps. If you see something unfamiliar, this may show you someone has access to your machine. You can check this list on Windows operating systems by pressing the Windows key and E on your keyboard. That's the Windows key and E at the same time on your keyboard. Check the recent files section on screen and see if there's anything you don't recognize. For example, for me, you can see the list of videos and PowerPoints that I regularly access, meaning there's nothing irregular for me to report. Another check you can do is through your task manager, which will tell you exactly what's running on your machine. You can do this by typing into the Windows search bar, Task Manager, and selecting the Task Manager app. Again, if you see anything you don't recognize, this may indicate remote access by an attacker. You can perform web searches on programs if you're not sure. You can also examine the CPU usage. Unusually high CPU usage while you're not using your computer may be an indicator for remote access. However, it may also be a download or update happening in the background on your machine, so make sure you pay attention to these details. Some of the more obvious signs of active intrusion would be your mouse moving without your control, apps opening in front of your eyes, or files being actively deleted. It's important to remember that these are simple checks and an attacker may be able to avoid these checks in different ways. Following this, it's important we understand how to prevent further intrusions. Big organizations will never make unsolicited calls, especially to ask you for a payment. If you're in doubt, hang up the phone and don't open the email. Also, we need to make sure our firewall being used is fully configured and operational, and that our antivirus software is patched and up to date. We have videos discussing how to set up a firewall and also discussing patch management on our channel. The links to those videos can be found in this video's description below. Thanks for watching. For more information regarding computer software service fraud, please visit the Action Fraud website and the Take 5 website. If you have been a victim of this scam, please contact Action Fraud and submit an Action Fraud report. This video makes use of the latest Action Fraud and Take 5 guidance at the time of recording.